Alright, here's a tutorial on how to do the Kylo Ren pleats. This can be applied to the sleeves or the inner tunic or wherever you need pleats done. And you can also use the same tutorial to do the pleats on the neck collar. So I'm gonna step through this. You'll see a combination of still images as well as video. And don't mind me, I ramble a lot, but I hope you get the gist of it. Alright, we'll get started. Alright, first what we'll do is we're going to measure out a couple of lines as we go along. Do it as many times as you can or as you want for the amount of pleats that you need for your particular garment. So here I'm just going to demonstrate on 2 pleats how to measure them out. So I'm using a measurement of 2 3/4 inch between each pleat. And what we'll do is we'll be folding on these black lines as you see in the image, and the blue lines represent the sew line. When you fold over your fabric, you're going to sew 1 inch from the fold, and that's on the blue lines. You can mark your fabric with the blue lines, or you can just use your sewing machine to gauge where 1 inch is. For now, I'm just using this as a demonstration as to how much from the line or from the fold you'll be sewing. So once I get all of these drawn out, I'll start sewing the fabric. Okay, trying this again. Alright, so here I have my material. I have it pinned down. It's folded on the line, so you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew in 1 inch from the fold so we can start on our pleat. So I have a ruler here showing that from the needle to this last line on my machine, that's 1 inch. So I'm gonna go all place material so the fold meets on that line on my foot. So, alright, get this underneath, and then all the way to that line. And always back stitch to head through the stitch. Okay, so here we go. One pleat down somewhat. I would normally use an iron to fold down the pleats so that they're more crisp, but since I don't have an iron on me right now, we'll just forego that for now. Okay, so we have the first stitch done, and I'm using a different color thread on the bottom so you can see the difference, so you know what the back side and front sides are. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to use this 1 inch as a guide, because what happens is that when you fold it on that your first initial stitch, you can start seeing your pleat starting to form. So what we're going to do is keep that over. I'm going to fold the second one again, fold on the second line. And like I always do, I always hold it down with pins. And again, I would normally fold or use an iron to iron down these pleats on the lines so they're more crisp. And I would suggest doing that just so that it's easier to do your sewing and get your 1 inch lines much more crisp. And then just a word of warning, yes, I did not cut the arm shape out. This is just a demonstration of how you can do your pleats. And this can apply to the under tunic, the sleeves, the under tunic skirt if you don't plan on doing the entire tunic as a pleated garment. So once again, you measure out 1 inch and sew on the 1 inch. And just make sure your first initial one isn't catching up underneath. ran into little snags, but I'm gonna continue off this one stitch. I'm still doing the second pleat, so I'm just gonna go back over the stitch so I can secure it. Alright. I'll finish this pleat and I'll show you what happens. Okay, so now we have the second fold done. Sorry, I had to secure back the extra fabric over here because it's going to get caught under. Alright, so there we go. Got the first pleat. Let's see right here. You notice that I'm showing you what the understitch was, because we're folding the back side over the front side to get your pleats. So when you do your pleats, make sure you have your right side of fabric at the back. That way you hide the stitches as you go. And as you can see, when it folds over on that initial 1 inch, you hide the stitches you just did underneath, and you just keep on growing. So I'm going to do the third one. So once again, fold on the line you created, and I'm going to do pinning again. So make sure I get the 1 inch. And then I'm going to make sure this is out of the way when I do it, because I don't want it sewing to itself. Alright, back underneath and sewing. Alright, so once again, 1 inch from the needle, and then sew on, bring 1 inch across, and it's always 1 inch from the fold. Sorry, this table's a little bouncy. Okay, so once again, it looks a little messy, but you'll see it start to form as you do more pleats, and this is where it's always time consuming. So again, we get this like a 3 thing. It's always going to be facing up towards you, but when you're done and you fold on those stitches, they start overlapping each other, and then you start forming your pleats. So there you go. Alright, you just go down the line as many pleats as you can, and if you want to, once you anchor them down, you can do a stitch along the side to anchor them down on each side. This side doesn't have a finished edge, so you can see it's a little raw. Just do a little raw, and you can just go down the side. As you can see, the pleats are starting to form. Okay, so that's how you do it. You're just gonna keep on folding. So 1 inch from the edge. Once you have the 1 inch, then you can start folding it down. Those stitches will serve as a way to fold it down. And I would suggest after doing every pleat, get an iron out and iron it down. That way your pleats remain crisp. So the initial stitch, your top stitch that you see, I mean, and if you want to, you can switch it around. If if you're done, you can change it back to the black side, and it'll face down this way. So it doesn't matter, as long as you achieve this type of look, this like rigid, like sticking up look, then you're doing it correctly. Because once you get the material, you can fold it down or fold it the other way. It depends on how you want, how you work. And then that's it. That's how you do your pleats. But so just to recap, each line, between each line is 2 3/4, 2 3/4 inch. So if you want to do any conversions to metric, just do a online conversion, or just get a calculator out and then do the conversion to get to centimeters or millimeters, and then you're gonna sew in 1 inch from your fold every time on these lines, and you're always gonna work on the same side. You're not flipping the fabric over. So 1 inch from the line. Then you can use that stitch that you just did to be able to fold your pleat down or fold it the other way, depending on which way you want to work. Alright, so now we have all our ridges done. And then what we can do is put this aside for now. Alright, so depending on how you want to fold, I'm going to fold it so that it's pointing up. So this initial sewing will be on the bottom. As you can see, now you have your pleats. But there you go, there's your pleats. So if you have any questions, again, just comment, and then I'll get this, I'll answer any question, and of course a static version of this tutorial will be added as well. Thank you.